7:15 in the morning. Look at it. It's quite autumnal. It's nice time, isn't it? But you know, it's also a sad time as well, isn't it? It's just the end of the summer. Suddenly moody all of a sudden, a bit like a Tim Burton film or something. Anyway, we are going to try and sneak this little video in today. I'm doing an illegal video. Yeah. In the sense that I'm not allowed to do one. I'm under... My missus Judy said, right, you're not editing tonight because I'm going to Italy in a couple of days and I haven't packed or anything or sorted anything out. So I've been strictly told I am not to be sitting at the computer and I have to do things. So I've only got a little bit to do at the job today, in the sense that I've left an easy day because I need to get packed up and stuff. So let's see if we can get there, get it done and get finished early enough that I can get this little stealthy video in unnoticed, under the radar, and then I can get it scheduled for later in the week and you can watch this whilst I'm in Italy. Shall I go into one about Italy? I've never been there. Maybe I'll go into one about it when I get back. In that case, I think we should just get on with the plastering. Keep this video short, sweet, no editing to mention, and yeah, I'll see you soon on the next video. What's been going on in here, look. The old customers have been in and they've been touching the walls. There's finger marks across there. See, it's discoloured. It obviously came in pretty soon after that wall was done. And just rub his fingers over it to feel just how smooth it is. Well, he can do what he wants with it. It's his wall now. Well, when he pays me it is. Just quickly then, let's see where we're at. We're all complete around here. So our quote for today is this wall, this wall, this wall, and this wall, with a little set of reveals on there as well. So let's get this last little area scrimmed up. Let's smash it all on, and then make it look a tree. And get out of here. It's grim. Two bags in this bucket and start putting all this on. See if we can get it in one, eh? Let's get going. Okay, because it's such a sort of like straightforward area, big flanks, you know, with nothing in the way apart from obviously that one window wall. And you can see when you've got an obstacle like that or a little socket or something to get over, how it slows you down. But something like this, you know, you can just fly straight across it. And that's where the money is, isn't it, you know, or if you're getting paid by the meter. So what I've done is kind of threw it on. I had quite a bit left over in the bucket, a good haulful or so. So I've knocked that up. Back with dirty water in that, and I've been able to give it a real tight coat with a second. I've laid it down, put a second coat on, and flattened in as I went along. So I took a little bit of time and got a nice tight coat over it. So we're still quite young here. You can see it's still pimpling up, but I am going to start taking a decent wet brush to it. Okay, and this is why I use these ones because it's a little bit like sponge floating. I run it early. We need to get on it early because what I want to do, I don't know if you can see these lines, is when you run your brush over it, rather than flicking water, just rust up the surface slightly. Where's my trowel? Okay, and we get an even distribution of water across, and then of course we're collecting up this residue, and because it's our first go at it, you know, this stuff is alright to push back into the wall. There's a lot of granules and stuff in it, so you can use that almost like a third coat, and we can get it up to a decent condition. And that's exactly what I'm going to do now. So the time is 8 minutes past 9 in the morning, and we are all over this. We're going to be done in no time, and I dare say I'm going to get time to make this illegal video. Illegal in my household anyway. Yeah, we're all over it. Alright, I'm still sticking with the 20x5 carbon steel trowel. Giving it a little liquid, that wet brush as I said, and then just flattening in, working that gear back in with the 20x5 carbon steel trowel by Marshalltown. I'll probably do that again, one more visit with that, and then I will probably switch to my Rafina Flex 2, which is just over there on that bucket. It's stainless steel. Okay, this is a very tight angle, yeah? You see that? See the trowel? See the angle of that? This is where using a corner trowel will not help you because you won't be able to get the thing in there. And this is where using something like this really will help you. And just getting there, like I said, we'll just get my hand in there, open the trowel up slightly, got some residue on there, and that's what we're feeding back into the wall. So this is our second visit to the wall, doing this. And a little liquid on there. Lump. Would be the way, wouldn't it, when I'm trying to show you something, I've got to feel that. Oh, for God's sake. Little liquor water. I just have to wash my trowel off because the lumps will look reduced right down. So normally what it would be is you'll open your trowel up a little bit more on the downward stroke, a bit of an angle as well, so you've got trowel at an angle, and then you wipe that back on, and on the upward stroke you close your trowel in a little bit. So what we're doing is planing off wrinkles and then closing that surface back in. And that's pretty much how to get things flat. Okay, so I've come down the gym pretty much to this area, coming down from the ceiling, gives me your stroke, and all we're doing, chasing that little tide mark that we're creating there, all the way across the wall. At the top, coming on your toes, so you're kind of feathering out to the top there, yeah? And you don't leave it up there. That's coming from the internal, but we can quite easily make this. So for the internal, I'd like to go to give it a little up and down movement, a little wiggle if you like. And this really makes a difference in getting that internal straight. I feel it's dragging a little bit. I'm running out of water in the brush, so just bring that area up. And at the end, because you might be coming and you've got your tide mark coming off the back of the trowel, so it's at the end here, look. Finish nice and neat like that. Eventually you're going to get a bit too much on there. You're going to need to dispose of that periodically. And the trowel starts getting heavier and heavier, more and more of this fat starts coming out. Get this clean off. Okay. The wet brush is my corner trowel. And it allows me to stay on top of this every time, you know. Up and down this internal, a little wiggle there, opening the trowel up. Now, I guess that's the thing, isn't it, really, with experience, is just knowing how much of an angle to be holding the trowel. Obviously, when it's still really wet, you're holding the trowel really flat. As it starts to pick up, as now, this is when you can start opening up and planing off. Now, you can see what I've done, and this is the amount of residue I've got already. This wall seems to have gone a little bit further than the other one I was just doing for some reason. Maybe the draft from the wind is just catching it, just sending it off that tiny little bit quicker. So I'm not changing and never put corner trowel across this every time. This brush just completely eliminates the need for a corner trowel. As long as you've got a straight trowel to back it up with. You've got a very curved trowel. Some are. Like the perma-shapes, you get curved perma-shaped ones. They also do flat ones now, perma-shaped flats, but I think you can only ever get them in a 14-inch stainless. This is why I like these more rigid carbon steels. And this one, as I say, is 20 inches by 5. Somebody nicked the English Greek just recently bought one, because I was never sure what the actual code was for these. This is Marshalltown, and I did buy a 20 by 5 from a different brand, and the brand was Craft, and I've never really seen Craft trowels, so I thought, well, do you know what, I'm going to have a go on this. So I ordered it online, you know, and of course, when it turned up, I got it out the box, and the whole blade was curved, a continuous curve. Now this general area, you can see it actually, I can show you. I'll just wash this off. Now, can you see this? Let's wash it off a bit, now what I'm trying to see. So where we're continuously using this for setting, cool, but light on it. See where the metal, this is rust and stuff and build up from plaster, but here the metal is pretty much clean because this is where the granules are catching all the time. Now you can see the wear mark here, okay, and then it tapers off here. So this is the amount of trowel which slightly kicks up, and you can see this is pretty consistent all the way. Get to this point here, and then it starts to kick off a little bit at the top. Exactly the same on the other side. Okay, so that's what this trowel does. This whole blade bit here is really straight. It's just the toe and the heel. It just kicks up slightly, just to take the bite out of it, you know, and not leave trowel marks all over it. So if you did get curved trowel, at at this dimension, if they're shorter, it's not so bad because the curve isn't so bad. But you know, consider, so if your trowel was this big and it had the same amount of curve, you're probably going to get like a millimetre amount of curve. But if it's cast over this thing and it's got the same curve in it, by the time you get to over here, you've got like, you know, 4 millimetres, you know, and that's how much. And for setting, when you're dealing with millimetres, that makes a hell of a difference. Now on the bag of multi-finish there, it recommends the coat is 2 millimetres. So if you've got a 3 or 4 millimetre bend in your trowel, you're getting ripples in that, ranging from 2 to 4 millimetres on the ball. Of course, when you start troweling up with the perma shapes, you hold it at more of an angle, so that's when it comes into play. So you do reduce that, you know. It doesn't curve, but for putting on, I'd say it does make quite a difference. And the curved trowels do not give you the feedback you need, because they don't put a mark in the front or the back of the plaster from your trowel. It doesn't show you, you don't get the feedback, it doesn't talk back to you, but this does. These are much harder to use, but it does force you to find your level. You're not just throwing a coat over it, like spraying on it, or like a sheet over it. It forces you to straighten things up and apply more plaster where there might be a hollow, and also playing on 5 points. In the beginning, when you're putting on, it probably will take a little bit more time to put on. If you had a curved trowel, you could just smash straight across there, yeah, for meters, and it will look really good. It will look smooth because the toe of the heel hasn't dug in everywhere. Well, that's when you'll have trouble when you start getting to the corners, and that's why you'll probably need a corner trowel. Now, there's nothing wrong with using perma shapes. It depends where you are and what you're doing. Now, if you've got a lot of meters to eat and you need to throw on plaster like we did here fast, you know, you'll throw it on well quick if it's going over boardwork, because you do get time to play with the plaster, yeah? Because the boardwork is the ideal suction rate, yeah? If you was going over day-old backing plaster, which is a very rare thing these days, you know, if you've bonded or hard-walled, okay, and you floated the wall up onto bare brickwork, and then you're setting that the next day, then you haven't got the choice, you haven't got the time to throw that on, and you then start back at the beginning and start flattening it all in, because the suction of that floated coat will pull the plaster off, and you'll do a wall this size, and you'll go back to the beginning, and you won't be able to get it flat because it's kind of, the suction's got hold of it and sent it off, you know, pulled the moisture out of it, and now it's really stiff on the wall, and you've got to sort that out. But with board finish, dot and dabbing, which tends to be what happens so much these days, and that's probably because the drying out time is much more reduced, it's faster, you know, it's the way things are done these days on new builds. So if you are going over boardwork all day, every day, and you're being paid by the metre and it's about meters, then what I'd probably do, once you get in the flow of it, if I had a curved trowel, I'd probably still use this because I prefer it. If I had a curved trowel, what I'd probably do is throw it on with 3 abandoned, get that curved trowel, lob it all on as quick as I can, get a metal speed skin rule, fly across that, then you probably corner trowel your edges in and stick with that. And then at the end, I'll do what I normally do here and probably go through a stainless steel flexi trowel to fine them off. What I know if there's any deviations or problems with that boardwork, you need that boardwork to be really good in the first place, because if there's any problems or deviations, you are going to struggle to sort it out in that manner, because your curved trowel and your speed skins will tend to follow any contours that already exist, especially if they're big ones. So what you tend to find is, using something like this, you might be a bit slower putting on, but you're actually putting on quite a bit flatter, okay? It's not smooth, it's flat. When the plaster's wet and stuff like that, that's probably the best time to start addressing the flatness of things, you know, when it's easy. Because if you start leaving it towards the end, when the plaster starts picking up, and you'll start filling little troughs with fat, it's harder to plane off any high points because the plaster's picking up. So using a trowel like this would be quite a lot of hard work on your joints. So yeah, the principle is get it on, get it flat, not smooth. Right, so like intermediate plasterers, this experienced, kind of get that confused quite often. They stop concentrating on smoothness too much before the flatness. So yeah, I'm putting this on with 20x5 carbon steel trowel. Might be slower putting it on, but when it comes to troweling up, because you've got it so neat at that early stage, the other stages get faster and faster, and you should be at a better quality as well, and you'll have a very minimised amount of ripples and stuff in it. So I'm quite happy we are all over this. I can continue just troweling this up. As I said, this is the second visit. This trowel has come to the walls. So after this go now, I'm going to switch to the stainless steel. And I can switch to that because I've been using this the whole time. You can't use that stainless steel flexible trowel from the outset because that'll leave you more ripples than a curved perma shave. So obviously I've been editing a lot of videos recently, and I've noticed a few times, you know, when I'm getting down to the bottom of the walls, because my left knee's a bit dodgy, I'm quite often bending over. And I don't know if you're old enough to remember, but there used to be a TV show called Treasure Hunt, I think it was. Anyway, there was a girl on it, and they'd give her instructions, and they'd fly around in a helicopter, and she always had these very sort of colourful, tight jumpsuits on. And she was famous because the cameraman was always chasing her where she was running from destination to destination. And the cameraman was always behind her, running after her, and her bum became very, very famous because that's what it seemed to be a shot of all the time, of her bum running up and down fields and stuff. So I kind of feel a little bit like Annika Rice sometimes, while I'm bending down and I've stuck my bum right up in the air and everybody can see it. But yeah, maybe I'll just start wearing flashy jumpsuits, eh? Maybe my posterior can become as famous as my slow puncher. So there we go. Obviously I was successful because you're watching this now. I did manage to sneak this little video in. But you know what, I might go one step beyond as well, because I've got another day to do tomorrow. Hopefully, I've not seen the job, but it's been described to me. It's just a ceiling, it's just a wall with a window in it, all over new plasterboard. So I've got to go to work, and then in the evening, I'm off on holiday. As soon as I finish tomorrow, it's holiday time. So this is why I've got to get all my packing and everything done tonight. And then, yeah, will I get it done in time tomorrow and get that up for next week? Because by the time you're watching this, I am definitely going to be in Italy. I'm probably going to get this, I've got one coming up in a minute, tonight, in a couple of hours. I've got one coming up for Saturday evening. This I'm going to schedule for Tuesday evening, and then I might get another one for Thursday evening. I'm going to be well Italian by the time you get to Thursday. I'm going to be wearing a black suit, like tuxedo and stuff, and saying Mamma Mia and things like that. Ciao, baby. You alright, cat? She's getting old. Be cool. Alright, come on, get out of it. Right, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you very soon on the next video. I might show you some stuff from Italy, who knows. Right, take it easy, see you soon. Oh, whilst we're here, don't forget the Facebook group, Plaster Master Smurf 74. Plaster Master Smurf 74 on Facebook. It's a group, it's free. Now, the only reason I'm really kind of encouraging you to actually come over there is because I find it really difficult to reply to a reply on YouTube app, because that's why I have to visit. It's so clunky. And as I was saying, I said it on a video the other day. I went and I was like, oh, what's responses with new replies? There was loads, and there was a lot of stuff that people had written out, and I hadn't seen it. I just hadn't seen it. So if you come over to Facebook, post stuff up actually on the group page. Don't go onto the general chat. Post it up on the group page, and then if I don't answer you or whatever, then somebody else can have a conversation. You're not talking to thin air. Facebook, I know it's where all the trolls live and everything, and you might have some disagreements with Facebook. Everybody's got disagreements with these social media platforms to a certain degree, haven't they? But it is good for us to be able to communicate much more effectively on there. And like I say, if it's not me, there's loads of, we've got, like, I think, I haven't checked, 800 members on there now. So yeah, somebody will hear you and reply to you. So do that. Don't forget, Plaster Master Smurf 74, or you can come and follow me actually if you want to message me or whatever. My name is Andrew Smurthwaite Webb on Facebook, so you can come and see me there. But my Plaster Master Smurf 74 is probably easier, and then you'll be able to find me from there because you'll see my name on there. You know how it goes. Right, don't forget, do that. Right, see you later.